Hey everybody, I'm just going to throw something out there pretty quickly that I've been thinking about for about a week. Last Saturday on New Year's Eve, I went out to the field to play in the morning, and it was a walk-on crowd, a mixed crowd, age range anywhere from probably about 12 or so up to maybe 30, and actually there were a couple older guys there, probably in their 40s. And as far as skill set, a bunch of new players, renters, right up to people that had played tournaments. So it was a very much a mixed crowd. And very early in the day, there were only two walk-ons. It was me and this kid, probably about 14 years old. So we actually asked this private group of 10 people that was playing, if we could jump in and play with them because we had nobody to play with. And this group was mostly newer players. One or two of them had their own guns. Age range on there were a couple older guys in their 40s, but for the most part it was probably anywhere from 14 to 16, some in that range. And sorry. So we jumped in and played with them. And the other walk-on, the kid that along with me jumped in with them, basically was spot on with how to play in this situation, because he was experienced. He'd been playing for a couple years, and he had, I forget exactly what he had, maybe a mini or the new Empire Axe, or one of those, I can't tell them apart anymore, one of those light, fast electronic guns. And he did a really good job when we were playing with this group of, one finger on the trigger, one balling, not shooting a bunch of paint. He did a really good job with that, and that really impressed me. Later on in the day, once the walk-on crowd got a little bigger, we stopped playing with them, and we had probably about, 12, 14 walk-on players, and one of them was the complete opposite. One of them was an older guy, probably a little older than me, maybe late 20s, maybe early 30s, and he was all decked out for tournament play, and I forget what kind of gun he had, but the first problem was that he was talking about how he had beaten, Ego 10s and DM 9s and whatever with his gun, when his gun wasn't all that great, but, the fact that you beat the player, not the gun that you're playing against, is a different thing altogether. But the problem I had with him was that in one game, he really lit up a couple new players, and when people tried to talk to him about it after the game, he said, I don't really care if it's walk-on woods ball or if it's a tournament. If you're shooting at me, I'm going to light you up. And that is the complete, that was the worst possible attitude one can have. Especially in a situation where it's a lot of newer players. By the time we had this bigger walk-on group, it was probably about half renters. So the point is that you need to calibrate your play to the group you're playing with. And, if you're playing with an experienced group, go for it, and everyone's okay with it, go for it, go all out. If you're playing with a less experienced group, then you have an obligation to tone it down a little bit and calibrate how hard you play to the level of the players around you. And I forget where I read it, but it comes down to this saying I've read in a couple places, that if your opponent leaves the field not wanting to get back on because of something you did, then as a paintballer, you have failed. You're doing it wrong. So that's all I wanted to say. There's a right way to do it and a wrong way to do it, and playing every game like you're in the finals of an MPPL tournament is the wrong way to do it. So don't be that guy that lights up the renters with their Titmans and their protective vests, okay? Don't be that guy. Be that guy that's willing to tone it down and play hopper ball in a mixed group. So if anyone has any thoughts, feel free to share them. I just wanted to throw that out there. Thanks for watching.